What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Overthinking Understanding podcast. I'm your host, Victoria Moore, and we are back with another episode. What's going on? This 2026. It's 2026. What's going on? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? If you can't tell, I'm excited to be back talking to y'all. I haven't shot an episode in a minute. If you follow me on YouTube does get semi exclusive content only because logistic wise, I just haven't navigated those other spaces properly. So that's on me. That's literally the only reason. Like Spotify, you're able to upload videos and things like that on there. It's completely on me why I haven't shot an episode. Been a little busy. Um, That okay, that's a lie. See, you arm looking down. I ain't gonna necessarily say I've been busy. I have been busy, but that doesn't mean that y'all haven't been a priority. It has. There we go. It has nothing to do with saying or insinuating that y'all have not been a priority. I just been shooting live episodes. I'm the type of person that fully believes you can do anything you want to do. You just can't do everything you want to do. And I have a tendency to try to sit up there and do everything. Like do everything. And that's a perfect segue into this episode. Actually, the name of this episode is gonna be Try Doing. I know you've been trying, try doing. No no other brand thing though, right? We gonna try doing. We gonna try doing. But to everybody that didn't make it into 2026 with us, my heart goes out to y'all. I would not act like what's going on in the United States is not going on. So to every family that's affected by ICE, we still human beings. Point blank period. You bleed the same way that I do, even though your skin might not look the way that I look when you grew up in the same place. Some of us truly did. Um and I know that it sucks because a lot of people's trying to make it like it's well, not gonna say a lot of people. Mass media will try to make it seem that it's just like Hispanics that's been affected by this. And they are heavily affected, but immigrants of all colors and ethnic backgrounds and race is being affected by this. We already was afraid of the police. Now you got ICE just killing people in the street, and so I would never not get on here. That's what's a great thing about having your own platform. You kind of say a little bit what you want to when you want to. But my heart goes out to y'all. To like I said, everybody that didn't make it into 2026. Heart goes out to that family, of those families, everybody involved, those who made it into 2026. We are going to have the 2026 that we make happen. We're going to have the 2026 that we make happen because we're going to be doing it. We're going to be doing it. I know a lot of times, like I said, this episode is going to be try doing because a lot of times people be like, I'm trying. And I almost went crazy because it's like it's true and I believe it. People literally be trying. Like, but you ain't doing it. You know how like and I know like oh violence, whatever. It's my shit, okay? But somebody trying to you get into a confrontation or even any type of confrontation. It's not always physical, right? But like a confrontation, uh, a heated business dealing where it's like, well, if you don't give me this, then I'm gonna walk. Okay, all I'm saying is a lot of people be trying, and this overthinking understanding. So I feel like we have overthought, and as a society, we have set and stewed and just marinated in part so long that we abandon understanding. When people be like, "What is overthinking understanding?" Like overthinking is literally just being stuck in this, and the word is not even used as much as it was. Mass media suck the life out of something and throw it away. But that's why I started. Overthink understanding. Like why we steady reiterating the same thing because understanding is truly gone. A lot of times we have been fed. A lot of times we had my apologies, y'all. A lot of times we have been fed the ability to be like, oh, here's the treatment, here's the treatment, here's the treatment. When they actually have the actual long term life fix. But if I keep feeding you the treatment, I'm gonna forever get the money. And I feel like in life, we people done did the same thing. People done completely did the same thing. Like steady feeding you the treatment instead of, you know, helping you understand what's going on. And a lot of people do understand what's going on. So like I said, well, we're gonna get into this episode, Um, hold on, because I want to make sure that don't happen for y'all again. Yeah, I want to make sure that don't happen for y'all again. It should be fixed, but if it do happen for y'all again, my apologies. I'm trying to. It should be. Hold on, y'all. It's giving a little bit of a. Mm-mm. It's gonna pop up when I don't want it to pop up, and I'm gonna be hot. See, look, it just popped up one away. Hold on, y'all. I'm coming. I promise. But yes, if you do want to see my face, hear my lovely voice, YouTube, YouTube. I promise you, it has content. It has content on there. It has the newer content. Has some great episodes. To the audio episodes, I will be. I said I will be uploading the ones that were shot last year to just the audio platforms. Everybody doesn't indulge in YouTube, you know. But open it back up for y'all. Like I said, this episode is going to be try doing, and we actually got a sponsor today. You want to know who this episode is sponsored by? One Day at a Time Nutrition. One Day at a Time Nutrition is a new up and coming meal prep service that is sponsored and geared towards service workers. So a lot of time you got your nurses, your truck drivers, even the service dogs. They even feed in the service animals. It says service dogs specifically, but service animals. They're even feeding the service animals. So a lot of time when you do a service job, a lot of those jobs be thankless. And I know I'm coming from serving in the military, being a culinary specialist, doing wonderful and awesome things throughout the military, but a lot of those jobs be thankless. And even when people say thank you, the work that goes into performing your job, sometimes thank you feel amazing. Sometimes thank you does not feel like enough. So One Day at a Time Nutrition is a meal prep service that's geared towards feeding those families, the people who get done cooking. You will never truly understand how many chefs walk away from the kitchen eating bowls of cereal or eating a piece of fruit or just eating sleep because they're too tired to produce their own meals after they've been feeding other people all day long. Same things for nurses, doctors, truck drivers specifically, those who making sure we get everything that we need. It has to go somewhere. It get off the plane. It has to come to where it goes, shipping, plane cover the air, truck drivers go cover on land. And those people, 9 times out of 10, be away from their families for days, working long hours, driving 11 something hours a day over the road for 3 weeks, home 3 days to go back out. So Overthinking Understanding is proud to be sponsored by One Day at a Time Nutrition. Be on the lookout for it in the Central Texas area. It was supposed to open up at the end of last year, but it will be doing a soft launch opening at the beginning of 2026. And that's what we hear now. So once again, check them out, follow them. They do have a website, One Day at a Time Nutrition. Instagram, One Day at a Time Nutrition. All right, let's get into this episode. It's probably like my 15th time saying it. Can y'all kind of get can y'all kind of get a vibe? I'm happy to see y'all. Happy to be doing this with y'all. Truthfully, like I said, a lot of times people be trying and not doing. And it drives me personally, it has started to drive me crazy. And I said, and I'm a person I'm an advocate for therapy. I'm an advocate for getting any type of help that you need. Therapy doesn't always look like sitting down talking to somebody. For me, it does. I actually recently Had to go see a psychiatrist a couple times, and that was different. Um, but with that being said, getting the help that you need, however it looks like for you to get the help that you need, you have to learn how to adapt. Oh, dang and understand. Like I'm big on trying to get people to be better people so the world could suck a little bit less. Cause we all we got. I don't think people understand that. Be like, no, we only got the black people and we only got the white people and the Asians and whatever. We only got these people. So humans as a whole, even if we never cross paths with each other physically ever again, we still, we still enjoy Earth together. What a human does a million miles away may affect you in some type of way. Down to the simplest things like where your cell phone devices, where your cups, you never made in China. Some people have never stepped foot in China. But your products is made from over there. And what them individuals, those human beings have going on affect you. So we have to learn how to adapt to make a better world for everybody. And it does. I know it's so cliche to be like it starts small and it start with you, but that's the truth. That's all you can do. It's funny, like they say, if you don't put your mask on while you trying to save everybody else, they gonna have their mask on and you gonna be dead. We gotta learn how to adapt. We gotta learn how to adapt, and it's funny because that's one of my hardest things to do is learn how to put my mask on first. I'm so used to most of the time financially saving everybody else and being better to be more disciplined in my finances to make sure everybody else is good. We gotta learn how to adapt though. A lot of you people are sheep and y'all hanging around wolves, hyenas, dogs, whatever you want to call them. Bad people, you know, subjective, right? What's good, what's bad. But a lot of people that you see that's successful, and successful is in the eye of the beholder. Do not get me wrong. Validation is not needed unless you need it. Like, you validate yourself. But a lot of people are wolves and sheep clothing, and you'll never know. Because everybody that's a wolf and in a situation is not trying to necessarily manipulate you. They just learn how to adapt. And coming from a person who repeatedly, all the time, 9 times out of 10, is used to making people feel uncomfortable or have made people feel uncomfortable just by being yourself, just by being who I am. Like, I don't necessarily want to talk to you all the time. We're not friends and until we're friends. And if we coworkers, then we coworkers. You have to learn how to adapt, blend in certain situations. You don't have to actually be dumb, but I don't know what household that y'all was raised in, but I was taught to play dumb. And it sucks, but you get a whole lot further. So let's get into the first segment. Playing in the room. So let's talk about life. We got these different chapters, pockets of time that we exist in, right? And when we exist in these different pockets of time, we have different people that we have to encounter. So we just go call it room. Let's think about your life as it was just this big mega mansion. In each section of your life, we go wrap it by decade. Each decade of your life was at a different room inside of this mega mansion, right? You have to learn how to play the room. Things that you learn as a child, you may need as a teenager. Things that you learn as a teenager, you may need as an adult. Sometimes we get stuck on not understanding the room, the section, the segment, pocket of time that we are at when we stepping into life. And I say it all the time. People be like, I healed from that. I went through that, but never actually fixed it. And I always love using the car analogy. If a car goes through a hailstorm, then it gets into a car wreck. Then it gets into a flood. So, and let's just say, um, whatever, windows get busted out, right? Car is pretty damaged, right? A lot of people look like that. Maybe not on the outside. Everybody don't have the battle scars. You take that car or yourself into the next room and none of that is fixed, you broke down. You're not good to be used in the next part of your life. And we like, but I didn't learn this. I'm trying to do better. I wasn't taught this. But a lot of times we were. You look at kids and kids be so resilient. Kids be so resilient and optimistic. And 9 times out of 10, it's an adult, a bitter, broke down adult that doesn't understand the segment or the part of life, or like I said, we go call it rooms that they're in. And that's what sucks about understanding that everybody does not know how to work a room. Because you may be in a segment of your life and you're an adult, but like I said, you learning from the past, you may need to resort or remember, hey, I was a kid once too. When you get those people that's not here, like that car that's done been through hell, and they like, I've been through this and I've been through that. I can't feel what you feel. Even being empathetic, I'm like, if I was in that position, I would. You got this kids that be optimistic, ready to take on life, ready to do what they need to do. It's no stopping them. They not trying. They doing. They doing it. They're living life. A lot of adults lose that spark. Even teenagers. Shit, but I ain't gonna lie. By the time I went through my situation growing up, and I say in elementary, I wasn't the same kid that I was before my situation happened. And it sucks, but you don't learn how to adapt to the people, or like I say, play in the room. You learn how to adapt and get stuck in that situation that you was in. And little kids fall down, hurt themselves, cry. They go forget about it. The next part, the next room they go in, they're not thinking about, hey, I just fell in that room. If something is broke and it's not fixed, if they're not capable of fixing it, they little tar break, Barbie doll head pop off, they go take it to the person that in their mind is able to fix the situation that they're going through. Whether, like I said, it's a toy man broke, I'm hungry, I gotta use it, I wanna go to sleep. But as an adult, we forget how to play the room. I know we don't look at it that way. It'd be like, that's why I said overthinking understanding. A lot of times, like, it's not that simple. That's one of the biggest things that I get told all the time is life is not as simple, or the situation is not as simple as you make it. Since a kid, if it wasn't the time that it was, I'll call, I'll call my parent. But it just, and as I've been getting told that my whole life, like, it's not that simple. You'll see when you grow up, even to adults, like, just quit. You can't just quit your job. Okay. Just, oh, well, you ain't got to do it. Just don't do it. What they gonna do? They gonna do this. They gonna do that. Okay. But then when you see the things that I have done in life, I learned how to play the room. My spouse laughs at me all the time. She was like, "You hate corporate jobs, but you know how to work a room so well. Like, you hate politicking, but you know how to politic so well." And I don't know if everybody will see that because I don't show it. I don't go into the room and be like, "Hey, I'm a wolf." You know, put on the sheep's clothing and be like, "Okay, now I'm this." People gonna know. I make that up mindset. I get my mindset right. Before I walk in the room, I plan on, okay, this is the room I am. These are the people that I am. This is a section of my life that I am in at this moment. I gotta understand how to play this room. And I'm not saying it in a way of saying like, oh, life is a game. Life is life. Life is real, real situations happen. It's just, as far as this episode is gonna go, the way this show gonna go, we're gonna say, play in the room. I know it sucks sometimes that people don't understand to dumb themselves down, not to fit. Like, some people cut themselves off at the knees to fit in. But like I said, once you go to another room, you need the rest of your legs. I'm saying present. Present to get what you need, learn how to play the room. You're not actually what you're presenting as. I'm not saying die to yourself, not be yourself, but a lot of times we get stuck, and I promise you from personal experience alone, we get caught up in trying to exist in this room. We know that life is this huge, vast thing. We don't know how many more rooms we have to go, right? But we know life is this huge, massive, truthfully thing we have limited control over, but we still get fixated on the space that we're in. We're like, I'm gonna play this room and I'm gonna learn how to adapt to these people and I'm gonna cut myself off the legs to fit and it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be dandy, and then life is gonna move on. Somebody's gonna come usher you out that room. You're gonna move into the next chapter of your life. And a lot of times, like I said, we don't heal. So instead of being like, man, I messed that up. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better. It's this, it's that. We just revert to the last room that we was in. It's like, man, it worked over there. So if it don't work over here, it's these people's fault. Not understanding how to play the room. You gotta understand, like you gotta plan your emotions. I know it sucks because it's like, how I'm supposed to plan my emotions. I don't know how I'm gonna react in the situation. That's why I say try doing. A lot of times we get ourselves stuck because we choose not to wander. Nobody should have to usher you into the next chapter of your life. Once again, I'm not saying that life is not hard. I'm not saying that the words can be oversimplistic and the actions is like climbing Mount Everest. I understand that. Um, Coming from a person that does a whole lot more than they try, I tell you the truth right now. A lot of times I say I'm trying, I'm probably burnt out, or I ain't even started yet. Because when I tell you my whole belief system, once I realized that people around me was actually trying. I don't know how have you ever had a realization that made you physically ill? When I came to the realization that people were actually trying, they just did not grasp the concept of doing. It made me sick. I was like, man, life is this. People really be trying. And I was like, damn, people be trying. Why don't they do more? Why don't they do more? And don't get me wrong, I feel like in the society that we live in, we, trust me, like I say all the time, your perception is your reality. So we all walking around in totally different realities, even though we occupy the space together, even though we're living in this mega mansion called life. And some of us have to come and be intertwined in certain rooms. It's all a different experience. I'd be like, man, like they should just do it. But as a society, we get, like I say, overthinking understanding. We get caught up so much on trying. And trying is the comfort of making you feel good. Trying is you taking that baby room that you was in, that adolescent room that you was in, and your parents or somebody came to you or didn't come to you, excuse me, coach, whatever, and was like, it's okay, man. It's okay, girl. It's okay, person. You didn't get it, but you tried. And trying in your mind clicked as I was making an effort. So the moment that you make an effort, best effort, minimum effort, give it whatever you had left in the tank. You made that effort and you say, I'm trying. And then you do something to make another effort a little bit later and you're like, I'm trying. I'm trying. One thing that they said in the service when we were doing our physical fitness test, if you make a continuous effort, you will not be terminated. But if you stop, the event will be terminated. And I'm like, continuous effort, but I'm shaking, I'm wobbling, like, man, but you're doing it. And I know it's something that's simple. Understanding be so simple. Overthinking be the hard part. It be so simple, but we get caught up. And it's like, man, I'm trying. If life be doing this, I'm trying to do better with my finances. And you attached to trying. You attached to doing the thing that's making you go crazy because you're not used to doing. People can say a whole lot about Victoria. They won't say Victoria didn't do what she said that she was gonna do. They can say like, oh, your podcast is doing this, so she's trying the podcast. I'm doing the podcast. You should do this. You should try this. Yeah, I could try different things upon the podcast that I am doing, regardless if it's where I wanted to be at or not. I'm doing it. Sometimes you have to understand the room. I say sometimes you gotta understand the room that you're in. Sometimes you have to understand the section of life that you are in at the moment and plan your emotions. But that also goes with doing the work. You can't go into a room as a teenager, as an adult, and act as a child. Not gonna lie, sometimes it's effective. Throwing a tantrum works sometimes. Throwing a tantrum sometimes is just the outburst of emotions. And I'm only saying that because my spouse says it so much. Like, you just throwing a tantrum. I'm like, I'm ranting and raving. I'm expressing my emotions. You're throwing. It sucked. It sucked to say, right? When you look at it, you're like, man, I ain't throwing no attention. I'm grown. You throwing a tantrum. Like, for real, you're literally throwing a tantrum. But hey, not to get off point, not to get off topic. But when you navigating through these spaces and you're not understanding, like when I say playing your emotions, we done heard it 1,000 times before. They say emotional intelligence. No matter what they do to you, it's how you react. You can slap the shit out of me, and I can go shoot your ass, and the consequences are gonna be different. You can slap the shit out of me, and I can do nothing, and I can sue you. You could attempt to stop the shit out of me, and I can move. In a situation, it's a 10,000 ways that you could do it, and it's like you can't. People can't plan. That's another thing where I hear a lot of people who try say nobody planned for this. I know you didn't, but some people do. Nobody plans to get sick. Nobody plans for their car to fail. You don't understand that those things happen if you have a vehicle, if you have a body. It has the ability to break down. And I say this throughout a whole bunch of different episodes. But every episode has to be a little bit different. The underlying message is the same. Be a better person for yourself by doing the things to be a better person for yourself so you can be a better person for the world, for your family, for yourself, your family, and whatever else. But a lot of times we get caught up and fascinated by the people trying. It's so many people that I have came across, been intimate with, that try to look like something, try to look like they're doing something, try to look like they play the room. Because don't get me wrong, like I said, it's wolf that's in sheep clothes, and it's sheep's that's in wolf clothing. And they're bigger and larger than life, so it seems. But when you go to ask them for advice or go to ask them about certain things, they have nothing to tell you because they're trying. They're not doing anything. I'm over here looking like a sheep, and it's like, oh, I want to travel to this place, and I want to do this, or I want to open up a business and go through this. And some people would never open up their mouth to ask me no type of question. I'd be like, oh well, I run this program, and I have this organization, and I'm starting this up. And it's like, you don't talk about it. I wouldn't have known, or you don't because you have to understand the room that you in, especially in life for people who already are trying and are intimidated by doers. Like I said, I done intimidated a whole lot of people unintentionally. And I learned not to quote unquote dumb myself down, but not necessarily dim my light. But sometimes, like I said, you learn how to control your emotions, understand the room, and you're not trying to manipulate people. You're trying to do what you need to do to navigate through life. That's where you get people, like I say, who try. You look like you're doing something, but you're really not. You're trying to manipulate people. You're not actually trying to do anything. I'm trying to do what I need to do to make it up out this room to the next room. I'm trying to make it to the next area in my life. I'm not actually dumb, but if you think I'm dumb and it makes this conversation shorter, or it makes it where I can still collect my paycheck, I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna do my best. I'm going to do my best, but still dumb it down a little bit. I guess like if y'all don't understand what I'm saying, it's the same thing. Like I say, it's cliche. It's better to be a wolf in sheep clothing than a sheep surrounded by wolves. You people can think you stupid. People can think you dumb. People can think that you don't have any emotions. A lot of time we get so caught up, like I said, we market it's marketed to us, and then we turn around and market to ourselves, and it's like, who gave you that thought? That's not even your original thought. Like, why did I even want to do this? Somebody told me it was cool. It was something that was presented to me. It was something that was advertised. It was something that other people got validation for. So I said I wanted to do it. But when the validation doesn't come and the advertisement doesn't swing back your way, and you're sitting alone with yourself and you starting to understand, like, "Wha I don't even care about it. I don't even care about this. Why am I so caught up on this room when I don't even care? I'm literally I care about the next room. I care about making no what ifs, and it's always something's a little bit smaller. I care about that. Why am I trying to live in the moment? Somebody told you it was okay to full blast live in the moment, and if you happen to wake up tomorrow, you can start again. And I'm not saying that's wrong either. Everything in moderation, right? Learn to play the room and understand. Do it. Not you trying. Do it. One thing I say, do is do. And it's like I said, I say so cliche, right? Do is do, talk is talk, and everything in the middle does what it's gonna do. But one thing I learned about people who actually do stuff, you're able to move more fluidly through people because you don't really need them. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm not saying it in a negative way, like you don't need people. But I learned that a lot of triers, I'm trying to do better with my finance. They have these people around. They're partying or they doing this or they doing that. They have all these people around them, but not necessarily doing anything. But the people around them is what's able for them to keep up with the lifestyle. It's easy for you to attach yourself to a person and be this great friend and knowing that you can sleep on this person's couch, and sleep on this person's couch, and roam to this person's house and go back and forth with this. You have to. That's when you learn. You forgot how to play the room. You are controlling the people, and the people is only as important as you make them. So now you're watching people try instead of doing, and you start doing that. You start manipulating and working people. Man, he fine, she pretty, she ain't got to do too much. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you use it. But then you look up. It's just like what they speak about AI doing your work. You do not know anything that's going on in that class. You don't know anything that's going on in the next chapter of your life or how to do this, how to do that. Somebody just provided it for you because you didn't learn how to play the room, so to speak, by the room itself. I'm trying to learn, be better for myself, keep my faculties and my better myself. You learn how to manipulate people. You learn how to work the hell out of the people inside of that room. So now you're going through the decade of your life being manipulative. And I can manipulate the hell out of people. And these people wake up, I can just move to another state. These people wake up, I could just move across. I could and it sound crazy, but I know you know somebody that does that. They don't necessarily understand how to life. You go to talk to them about life and how you do this, man. I'm just keeping on. I just be trying. But tell them, man, I'm trying to get Shawty to do this or do that, and man, you just gotta. And then you it sound crazy, right? You're like, nah, that ain't true. And then you put it into words you can understand. Like, nah, I do know people that manipulate people, that work people way more than they learn how to work a room because they never learned actually how to deal with life. They're trying. They're literally just stumbling and trying. And trying is cool. But we talking about actually give doing a try. You can only try so much. I'm trying to do better with my finances. Just start doing it. That take me into the next segment. The hard truth. It sucked. I'll be like that. I want to say it sucked. It sucked. But people will often be more upset about you doing than they ever were with you trying. Like I forgot the name of the song, but it say people love me way more when I was trying to get to where I was going than when I got there. People love you way more when you trying than when you doing. Because like I say, instead of us going through life and going through situations in life and trying to use it as a mirror, as a reflection and be better parts of ourselves, we try to gauge the people around us. And I'm not saying your circle not important and your environment not important, but we're talking about self work, growth, and inner being, right? You get around people and you're like, man, that person got this going on and that person got that going on. So I must not be doing too bad. That thing will knock you off your path where you're trying to go quicker than anything else. Not that it's that man, you shouldn't compare yourself. Even if somebody doing good, people, oh, you shouldn't compare yourself to them. You never know what's going on. Spoken like somebody trying. You got people that try. You compare, man, look what they doing. These people live their life like this and they still got it. Man, I want to do better. You doing too much already. You doing too much. Look what this piece got going on. Man, that stuff ain't true. This is only happened because they rich or they came from the family that did this. Like I said, it's crazy if you hear somebody just say like, "Oh yeah, like yeah, people try, but they don't do enough." Man, that people be trying. Yeah, trying is it's some people that ain't even trying. Don't nothing beat a failure but a try, and don't nothing beat a try but a do. I did it. You trying to do something? I'm making a conscious effort to keep going. I am doing it. Man, a whole lot more people go like trier, the trying version of you than the doing version of you. Hey man, I'm trying to come over and you wanna go out, you wanna drink? I don't wanna go out. We could drink. I got some liquor here, but I ain't buying no more. I ain't drinking no more. Or yeah, I got a budget. I'm budgeting. That's put up. And you ain't even gotta explain yourself like that. You do not even have to explain yourself like that. But if you do, people, man, why you doing that? Yeah, catch that? Man, why you doing that? Why you acting like that? You could tell somebody point blank period, like, I'm tired of people using and abusing me. I'm okay to be used. I get tired of being abused. I'm getting tired of people being able to base their bad financial habits or bad decisions on my ability to not make those decisions or make those decisions and knowing that I'm gonna be okay. So if I make the same decisions that they do and they know that they're gonna be okay, I mean I'm gonna be okay. That means they're gonna be okay because I have it to fuck up. It suck, right? Like, damn, why you doing that? I ain't got nothing for you. Hey, I'm trying to get this from you. I don't have that for you. I'm doing something else right now. I'm tired of being used and abused, and I want people to stop. Okay, make them stop. Start doing that. Hey, I'm calling to get this from you. I don't have it. Hey, can I stop by your house from? I don't have it. You have conditioned yourself, and don't get me wrong, because like I said, a lot of our thoughts that's implanted inside of us. I said all the time, like we talk about grooming in a sexual way. We talk about grooming, and that's still a thing. Don't even go down that rabbit hole. Come back with me. I'm just saying, parents groom you too. Parents come from a situation where they have been groomed, and they groom you, and it's not even intentional. Like, it's on purpose, but they don't really understand the effects that it's having. So it's not truly intentional for you to get groomed in a certain way to make your life miserable down the line. Some parents were groomed to be miserable and keep the same people, but they parents did the same thing. They were groomed to be miserable and they create little people to be miserable around them. Like man, this lady hate me, this guy hate me, but then they still want you around. They was taught how to work people, not the room. They was taught how to manipulate situations, not how to do life. And it gets so mixed up in people's head where it's like, oh, I am doing life. You doing people. You manipulating situations. You have nothing to take from that. What did you learn from that lesson? You know how many people go through stuff and don't reflect on it? You just tried something. Like, no, I did it. It was a completion. You tried something. What happened in there? What did you get from that? whole lot of people, man, why you doing that? You ain't gotta act like that. I don't wanna be used and abused no more, so I have nothing for you. Just because you have access to my number does not mean that you have access to me. Suck, right? Said this segment is hard truth. It sucks, right? And it's bad. It's bad. Be- being in my last, being in my last employment, it made it where I had to learn that, and it sucks because it creates a situation that's not good all the time. Because sometimes I really, either I'm asleep, or I really don't want to pick that phone up because I know you want nothing. And wanting nothing is not, like I said, it's not so much being used and abused. A lot of time we put a financial value on it, but sometimes people just want you, and you know that they want you, but you can't get them. They want you to come pick them up from a bad situation, but they don't have it to do the same. And it's not always to give to receive. Don't make it like that. But they want to give you, they want you to give of yourself. I feel like I pissed you off or I hurt you or I did whatever, and I know that I did that. But to make myself feel better, if you still allow me to have access to you, it might not be that bad. It must not be that bad. Come pick up your clothes. It's folded. They still got room to come pick it up. I shipped you your clothes. They loaded. You ain't got no more access to me. All jokes aside, like it's not. I don't want to come see you. It's nothing for you to decide. All right, let me stop. I dissect that whole song. It jammed though. Shout out to Kaylani. Um, but yeah, like people are, man, they don't want no money. Like, oh, I just need you. I'm even just to ask you, what do you want? Nothing. You want me, and I don't want you to want me right now. I need myself to be recharged. And I sit here and I talk about it, like I say, like the words can be oversimplistic, but the action is like climbing Mount Everest. My spouse tell me all the time, like, you do way too much for people. You have conditioned yourself to be obligated to people. Why? Man, I don't know. Because you was groomed. You was taught that. And to those that be like, my parents didn't teach me that. Like I said, sometimes you teach it to yourself. You learn to navigate one room. You learn to navigate through one group of people in a certain room. 9 times out of 10, manipulation. And like I said, these words have such negative connotations to them, but it's not always negative. You learn how to manipulate people to get what you want. It's not negative. Nobody's hurt. You just learn how to work the people. And like I say, sometimes 9 times out of 10, doers do similar things. But if the person wasn't there, they can still do what they need to do. I don't have to sweet talk you to give me a loan or do this, do that, and the third. I have the means to go do it myself. And if I don't, I have the means to go make it myself. And I'm just saying, truly coming from somebody who does consistently. So many times we try consistently because we have been used. Like I said, we have been conditioned and trained by society to try. And you don't look at it that way, but it's like you're trying. You're trying. You have been conditioned to try, and you look up and you 60, you 30, you 25, you 18, and you, man, I did that, I did, and it still ain't working because you really been trying. You're not doing. You know that trying is a whole lot easier than doing. Even doing nothing. Even doing nothing can be. I tried. I tried. You go look for a job today? When you walk to do whatever with whoever or you borrow whatever, you ask them was they job hiring. Yeah, I'm trying. Truthfully, you did nothing. I learned this when I was young. People will tell you more about yourself when you piss them off, make them uncomfortable, when you mad at them, than they'll ever tell you when they like you. And coming from a person who got offended and then overly I'll say, leaned into it too much, used and abused it. Cause it's like, you like somebody, you don't wanna hurt their feelings. You might not tell them they breath stink, their work ethic, the bad qualities about them, whatever. It's like you don't wanna hurt their feelings or do whatever. And I'm just saying people. Some people that really care about you, they love you enough to tell you. I'm just saying people that you run across to different phases, spaces, rooms in your mega mansion of life. 9 times out of 10, if you make people feel good, they don't wanna do anything to upset you. And they know hard truth 9 times out of 10 is gonna upset you, so they don't tell you. Coming from a person who has not been on the receiving end of that frequently, I'm the one who usually piss people off. And even if it's unintentional, you just unintentionally, unapologetic, uneducated about certain things, but you also yourself. People don't like confident and underexperienced, undereducated, whatever. Be like, I say all the time, like, I'm not the most intelligent person. I'm not the most intelligent person. I'm hella experienced. I done been through, sat through, worked through a whole lot. I done did not try. I done did a whole lot. Even I give you try. I done tried a whole lot. Don't not to piss a person off. Then you suck so bad, but you confident. I'm supposed to let you turn me down because I'm not educated in this subject. Not saying like not speaking on what you know, because I do feel like you should speak on what you know. Speak on what you know, but being a person that's experienced over always, like I said, I'm not the most intelligent person walking around. Experience limits you. You can open up a book and transform and learn. Open up a podcast, open up a whatever, anything that where you get education, right? And you can be a totally different person. You can be uneducated about something that's going on at your job, but it's a whole SOP. Through your experience, it may be done a different way, but how it's supposed to done is written out. You just uneducated on that fact. People get so mad. I remember last year, I told people that I was educated on the fact that on your reenlistment, you could add things to your contract. It still has to get approved, but you can add things to it. People get so mad, like, "You can't do that, you can't do that, that's your experience." And all I said was, "You're uneducated." Some people was like, "Yes, you can." Some people was like, "You can't do that. Good luck enforcing that, blah, blah, blah." You can do it. You can do it. You just don't. And so people will say, when I'm like, "You're uneducated." "Oh, yeah, I'm uneducated. I've been in 12 years." I didn't say you was unexperienced. I said you was uneducated on the topic that you're speaking about. And I learned how to speak and how to think and how to look at things this way because it was done to me a whole lot of times because I'm hard on myself and I'm used to being a doer myself. I speak and I talk and I offend people, but I'm like, man, I talk to myself the same way. What's the problem? Like you, I see you trying, but you ain't doing nothing. Like I'm watching you not do nothing. And I'm not saying that those are the exact words that be used. Every situation is a little different, but I'm watching you. Basically, is what I'm saying. Like, nah, I don't. I'm actually doing it. That ain't right. It sound good, but you ain't actually do that. You work. I watched you manipulate that person. You've been working through your life by manipulating people. You never had to actually learn what you was doing. I had to learn what I was doing. And don't get me wrong, like through my work ethic, through my ability to do a lot of people, I was fortunate, blessed, rewarded with some great people in my life. They like, nah, she'll do it. She might be a little rough around the edges. Like I said, yeah, I thought she was a sheep too. She more wolf than sheep. I know she present like a sheep. Half of the time she walk around looking scared and nervous. I'm telling you, she intelligent. I'm telling you, she's experienced. I'm telling you, she's smart. And that's not coming from, yes, those are ways I feel about myself too. Don't get me wrong. But those I had to learn, like, why do people see so much in me? Why do people treat me like this? Why do people tell me these things? You really don't need a boss. You really don't need a lot of instruction. You really need to trust yourself. People want to work with you. I'm like, what? What the? Because I understood. I learned that at a young age. Oh, we gonna do this. We not trying. We gonna do this. And if people ain't doing and they trying, cut them off or cut it short. And like I said, this segment, hard truth. It be sometimes you gotta, in the politest way ever, say, tell people, tell yourself, man, I gotta like F off right now. Like, man, I'm tripping. Like I'm trying this, but I really need to F off. Like, man, I did that. I messed up. Take it with a smile. Cause so many times people are not going to tell you. You have to do it. You could be liked by everybody. Nobody told you, like, man, yo, this is like your weak point that we see. Piss them off though. And that's such the old cliche thing. Like, oh, people will really tell you about yourself when you get mad or when they mad at you. You know how much people will tell you about yourself when they feel like you too stupid to grasp to to help it, to help yourself. People will tell you about themselves because they like, this motherfucker too stupid to do what they need to do anyway. And then you end up taking their job. They end up driving around listening to you. All right, that was for me. Sometimes I do be shocked though. Like, bro, you checked it out. I thought it wasn't your cup of tea. I thought I didn't know what the I thought I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. It's funny. I think nothing to me off the top of the Heavenly Father and my own self solidifying me. It's when people around me like imitate, or when people around me push the message. And I'm like, man, or when my words bother them, I'm like, man, like maybe I'm more than what I think I am. Or maybe I'm doing better than what I think I am. Maybe I'm doing a whole lot better than than what I think I am. But like Drake said, sometimes when people I can't stand and imitation is not flattery. It's just ignore. It just be annoying. Be like, bro, what you doing? Like that's I taught you that. Why are you regurgitating that to me? Like, what the? All right, I don't want to go topic. We gonna roll into the next segment, the illusion of trying. We kinda already hit on it, but the illusion of trying it was keep people trying until the day that they die. And I'm not saying it in a way of one more step. I'm saying changing the mindset of understanding. If you taking that step, you're not trying, you doing it. A whole lot of time trying gets put to be simple and doing gets put to be this great feat, this great gesture. When you can do in the small steps, just like you can try. One step at a time, you try and keep going. No, you doing it. One step at a time is you doing it. You are walking. And I know, like I said, people all the time, like, yeah, I get that. You oversimplifying it. People have overly made it hard. You have over that complicated it. You have over complicated it. So now you're like, yeah, that's simple. But because you think hard is supposed to be hard and success is supposed to be hard and doing is supposed to be hard, simple doesn't get the job done to you. But trying does. Trying will keep you in the same place, back and forth, going crazy. Like man, I've been trying to do this. Like I really been trying to do better with my finances. I really be trying to. Yeah, you trying and trying is such a complete. People feel like doing is this closed thing, but trying is way more closed off than doing. Doing is so open ended. It's like I did it. You can do something in the midst of you can complete a goal, complete a task, complete a step in the midst of doing other goals and steps and tasks and still be I've done it. In the midst of doing it, you can still have done it. But I'm trying, I tried it. I'm trying. I tried, and there's so much sense of failure in there. It's like, man, I tried it, that didn't work out. Well, it's better than failure because I actually tried, but you don't feel that way. Our minds ain't working that way. Our bodies doesn't react that way. We could say it and it sounds so great. Like I tried, man, don't nothing beat a failure but a try. You did it. You did it. Like that was exactly you did it. So continue doing it. No, like man, I tried, man. I ain't doing that no more. I keep I keep trying to save money, but and the only reason I bring up money because it was fascinating to me coming from the way that I grew up and just thinking that money wasn't money was the issue. I didn't think that these people are not doing what they should with that money. Money is the problem. They're not paying people enough. And it sucks because even if people do not pay you enough, it's what you do with it. You have to do a little bit more than somebody that's getting more. It sucks. Life ain't fair. We ain't going down that rabbit hole. You have to do a little bit more than somebody that makes more, but you can still do it. I do it all the time. I was doing it, didn't even know I was doing it. I thought that I had more than other people. So that's why I was able to give so much. And then I learned that people just don't do it. They don't do it. So when they call and say, man, my car just started acting up and I got to get to work, can you spot me $500? I'm like, man, they must, they must wasn't, they didn't have it to do. Because if they had it to do, then it would have been done. That's literally my mind. No, they was just trying. I'm just nah, man. I'm trying to make it day by day like everybody else. They trying to do whatever the hell they got going on. Not understanding that these people done went on 2, 3 vacations. These people done had more money saved up, more money done touched their hand than done touch your hand the whole year. But they trying something, or they tried something, and they just ain't doing shit. Sorry, they just ain't doing stuff. They just ain't doing it. And it suck when you talk to people like that, but and even I ain't gonna lie, 9 times out of 10, I have learned to just shut up. And I try to do better when spoken to and not to give unsolicited advice because a lot of people trying. And I don't wanna be the person who poo-poo on their parade, especially when they not even ready to digest what you saying. They like, "What you mean I'm trying? I tried something. That is me doing it." Like you said, just 'cause you switch the words up don't mean but I'm telling you that if you switch the words up, you will be a whole lot better. You will have more complete at the end of this month if you start doing and tell yourself, "I'm doing it," versus trying, then then you will if you keep trying. No, because I'm trying. Do it. It's just something about doing it. It's like I said, it's open ended. It's something about doing that has the level of completion, but it's not failure. Trying, and I don't know why. Trying is just you tried it. It usually comes after something failed. And failure, like they say, book come out and it was like fail upwards, and that whole big hurrah came, and it was like, yeah, failure is good, and it's okay to fail and do it, but you have been taught, even though it's not, it's subconscious. It's just like, man, you tried it. Damn, I tried it. I mean, I failed. I didn't do it. But think about like, man, you did it. The completion of that game was done. No, you did not win. No, I'm not saying participation trophy, but you did it. If you look at the trying and the illusion of trying and being like, you tried to win, you did not win. So that is a failure. You ran into the door and it was closed, but you tried. So pat yourself on the back for trying. The next game, you're going to try a little harder and you might win. The next game you try a little harder, you might win. But you're so focused on that, I lost that one and I won this one. All you gotta do is try a little bit harder. Just like I said with the analogy with the room and you going through life, you learn how you start learning how in your mind to work the people and not the room. You don't even remember what you try harder at, or if your effort, the effort that you exerted was even the reason that y'all won. Cause you just tried some shit. I did it. Mean I tried. It didn't work. I'm gonna try harder. And like I said, it's so funny because you don't think about that until you think about that. You don't think about it like, man, nah, like I'm trying and I'm trying, man. She don't know what she talking about. She trying to tell you something she ain't doing. Like I'm telling you, just switch up. Take the illusion of trying away and actually do, and see how much get done. Instead of walking into the garage and be like, I'm trying to clean this garage up, and you do something and you stop. Cause trying, like I said, I don't know why. Doing is way more open ended than trying. I don't know why our little brains work like that. And I know everybody doesn't. But I'm just saying humans in general, right? You be like, I'm trying to get that garage done. And trying has this loom of it doesn't have to be complete, but you tried. So you should feel good about yourself for trying. And you didn't fail necessarily because you're trying. And because failure is the best teacher. Experience. So many intelligent people have failed, but we were taught at a young age not to fail and get pushed through a machine, especially if you came through United States, not every other place. A lot of places is different. And I'm only saying that because I have had the pleasure and the ability to travel. And I have seen little kids going I have been in England and seen little kids drawing a bridge, and I'm like, why are they so small drawing a bridge, and why is it so good? And learning that you go to school, you pick what you want to be, and then you get trained to be that. And just to wrap that back up, to not get off, not to go lose anybody. In the US, I learned, you try shit. You do the basics and you go from elementary school to middle school and high school, and you don't necessarily know what you want to be, but you got all this stuff that you have tried. You got all this stuff that has been thrown at you that you just like, man, I don't think I'm gonna use half of this shit. And you're not. You're not. Not saying that some of the things that you did throughout those schools is not gonna show up in the midst of you doing, but it's just different. You look at it different. Some people are trying and some people are doing. Some people are trying to make you better for the future, and some people is doing it. And trying becomes this illusion. So now we back in the garage and we done moved a few sections. I'm not saying that do a little bit at a time. See how different that is? You tell yourself I'm gonna do a little bit at a time, that's letting you know that this is open ended. You letting yourself know that I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to stop and do whatever, but the whole thing is going to get completed. I'm going to do this a little bit at a time. So I do a little bit, I'm going to stop. I'm going to do this and I'm going to stop. Not the illusion that we get taught, oh man, I'm trying. Hey, you still working on that garage? Yeah, I'm trying to get it right. You know, they talk about, what is it, like the dopamine rush, like don't talk about your goals out loud, because even speaking your goals get sometimes, well, I ain't gonna say sometimes. I want to say the science behind it is some people believe like you don't speak your goals out loud because even speaking it out loud releases that dope is the dopamine? I think it's dopamine. The dopamine rush, and it's almost as if you completed it because you get that rush like, yeah. But that's for some or maybe majority. I don't know the full I don't know the full experiment or whatever that they did on it. I just know like that was such a big thing. Like don't speak it, whatever. But to a trier, you speak it, you get the dopamine rush, and you're like, man, yeah. And then you be on that high for a little bit, and you try some shit, and then it don't work, and you're like, man, I tried, so that's still good. And then you got doers that's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna get that accomplished. And then when I'm gonna get that accomplished, I'm gonna do some more. And like I said, I know that it's all about how you look at it, but this podcast, I literally say I'm a mindset speaker. Like, yeah. The way you look at stuff makes it so make your life a whole lot different than what it would be or what it could be just by off just by the way that you look at it. That's why I say mindset. They like it's so funny. People laugh like it's a mindset thing. Funny Marco make fun like it's a mindset thing, but truthfully, you watching people be successful off of the way that they looked at something and they did something, and the way that you looked at something and you tried. The way that they learned how to actually understand the room and you learn how to work it. In both ways, like I said, it's mindset. The words are interchangeable. You could be like, I did it. Somebody did it, but they still work the room. But just like I said earlier, you can work a room by not manipulating people. I'm quote unquote, I'm not dumbing myself down to actually be stupid. In your eyes, I'm letting you, if you feel that I am stupid, I'm not about to, if I say finna, fitna. I'm not about to make you think that I'm smart. I don't care. I understand that you are not what's needed to get to the next stage in my life. But if I sit here and I allow you to be an instruction to the next stage of my life, that's my fault. I promise you, this month, just try doing. This week, just try doing. Tell yourself, I'm gonna do that room. Not, I'm gonna try to get to it. I'm gonna try to clean it up. Watch the difference that you'll see. Be like, hey, I did the room. I'm gonna do small pieces of the room. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna do the whole room. I'm gonna get it done. Just change your try with do. You have been tried. You have tried trying. Let's do. Give doing a chance. You done tried trying, try do. All right, I'm gonna do this. And understand the open endedness is not an illusion. Like I'm doing something. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But we can take it there, right? Be like, how they was like, motion is not the same as progression. And you can, well, I'm doing this, and you can make motion. You can take it 10,000 ways. Everybody that sits in front of a mic, because it is funny, right? You some people had the access to be able to freak, speak freely, and get their thoughts and opinions out to the world. Everybody doesn't, right? But for those of us who do have the ability to think freely, have the ability to understand and digest our own thoughts, and not what somebody told you to say, told you to feel. Either way around it, understand that this person can be right and this person can be right at the same time, and that your reality is your reality and you exist in millions of different people reality. And the way to control that reality for the people that try to control you is to try to feed you and funnel you the same reality. So now everybody on the same page. Mass media is producing something and I'm trying to control the masses. So this is what I'm gonna do. And it's successful 9 times out of 10 because they're not trying. We say like mass media try to, you know how much mass media actually does dictate and control the narrative? That's all I'm saying. You control the narrative. I'm not telling you like, oh, do, and come back to overthinking understanding and be like that person is smart. I could give a damn if you think I'm smart, stupid, intelligent, unintelligent, uneducated. I know what I am and where I lack and what it is in certain situations. I'm just saying, if you listen to my show, if you indulge in my podcast, and I'm the messenger for the message that you like to receive this week, do do it instead of just replace do and just replace try with do. I'm trying to be a better father. I'm trying to be a better person. Just do it. Just start doing it. You being over simplistic and it's not always that easy. Okay, but I'll just tell you, I do it. It's people can try to minimize the things that I have done. That is fine. People can try to insult and attack my character. That is fine. But one thing they can't do is take away what I have done. It's just like when you get, and we're gonna go on to the next segment after this. It's just how when people get around somebody that you used to deal with, and it's like you trying in my mind. I'm like, you're trying to call yourself being there for that person. I actually did it. I promise you, I did it. Just like you, that person is manipulating you. That person is telling you this, that, and the third to make you be able to do what they need you to do. They're great at it. But I actually did it. I actually sat in it. One thing that is fascinating by when somebody, and it's not always exes, I'm saying exes in this situation, people who don't understand you or people who don't get you or people that don't work with you or seen inside or did whatever, right? Whoever's trying to like say something about you that you know it yourself is not true. Even if it may have been true in that moment, something happened for you to act a certain way or do whatever, right? Try to keep it as simplistic as possible. They can't stop the things that you do. It's like you're saying that that person is all talk or that person is not good or that person doesn't do this with people or do that. Why so many people show up or why are they able to do this? How did they do that? Because a lot of times I can say something about how I feel about a person. Don't get me wrong, I'm human. I have been wrong and I have been right. And still to this day, most people who try to talk about my character, try to talk down, or try, they ain't got nothing going on. They trying. They not doing shit. They trying, they ain't doing shit. It's like, bro, you did that. You was trying that back when we was doing. You was trying that back then. And even if they try to come back around in the situation that I have going on, it's like, man, you trying that. I don't have to be a sheep for you anymore. Now I can show you I'm a wolf, and you go on about your business, or this is what's gonna come with it. But that's just that. That's just that. Let's go on to the next segment. Doing versus talking. Like I said, it's a mindset thing. It's a way that you it's a way that you look at it. But it's just the belief and the principle that you instill in yourself. I'm gonna do it or I'm gonna talk about it. Because just like people do shows, movies, whatever, doing, you could talk. Or are you doing something? But doing has, like I said, it's open ended. It's going to produce something. Even the way that you feel about yourself is going to produce something. Like I said, trying is like, man, you tried. They trying to do this, and you see that person starting their podcast. Yeah, they trying to do a podcast. They trying to do that little business. They trying to sober up. Instead of saying like, nah, yeah, they doing it. Even if you fall, even if you relapse, they doing a little bit at a time. They doing what they can. It's so different than just, yeah, man, I'm trying. If I say doing versus talk, I'm trying. I was, I put some money up and then this situation happened and I had to touch it. And then, once they say, once you break 100, you might as well spend the whole thing. And who is they? And they said that. So you digested it into your thought process. You fed yourself that belief and that's the principle that you stand on. If you break 100 and you only need 5, put the 95 up. And it just happened like that though. Because 9 times out of 10 we trying. I'm trying to save it up, but it's true though. That didn't come out of nowhere, which is true. Doing takes a level of effort that talking sometimes does not. Talking, trying. And doing takes a level of discipline that trying does not. But what's so funny about it, once you start doing and you become consistent at doing, it's just like when you was consistent at trying. It's muscle memory. You don't know no better. You don't know no better. My dog hurt themselves. They tore their ACL. I know the dog version is like TCC or TCL, whatever it is, right? But they tore their ACL, and we had to take them to the vet. And I have been talking about my spouse all the time because I've been doing it for so long, putting money up for a rainy day, I forgot how to live. I'm not gonna lie. Now I have a now I have an appetite for floor seats at boxing events and the best seats at concerts. I'm not gonna lie, it is what it is. I'll be living my life. But to not get off track, right? The our dog, my baby girl got sick. I say total ACL. It's like a $5,000 surgery. $5,000 surgery. And even just the visit, I want to say the visit was like 280, $300, something like that, for when she just had to get seen at the visit and the things that they did at the visit. Not the surgery itself yet. Like it has to get scheduled, whatever, right? $5,000, almost $6,000 surgery. Once again, I'm saying trying versus doing in the way that you can consistently do something and it saves you. You're not trying anymore. So nobody can predict that the dog was gonna hurt themselves. Just like insurance is there for a rainy day. Savings account, I have been talking to my spouse all the time about it. Put this money up, put this money up. I put the money up, but I'm putting money up for two. I don't ask or want or necessarily need anything from you, but I'm asking of you just in case we need as a unit for something that we have created together, put something up with me. And like I said, when you coming from different mindsets and different ways of looking at things, sometimes you get a doer with a trier and they really are trying. They just don't understand how easy it is to do. It's so much harder to try. It's so much harder to talk instead of do. And so like I'm saying with the dog in the vet visit, I get to the car, baby girl wasn't feeling too good. My spouse takes her to the car and I sit and I pay. I go to the car, my spouse say, "How much is my half?" I was like, "Oh, I just took it from the joint. It's nothing to be paid." The amount of money that we took from the joint is already back plus some than we used maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Because what she set up for the ability to be able to do, she doesn't have to try anymore. And it sucks because nothing feels worse than when you actually care about your partner and you don't want to let them down. It's like, man, I really am trying, and you just feel like you're failing. But check it out. When you just start doing whatever she set up, and like I said, some people talk, and some people actually do. When I seen that my spouse started doing, I did more. Like, oh, you put that in there, matching it. Put that in there, matching it. Out the blue, if they randomly drop a amount inside of the account, I'm gonna match it. If I had the ability to, which usually is I do, I'm gonna match it that same day. And it's not saying, like I said, it's not bragging. I'm so used to doing it's there. It's there for me to do that because I'm used to putting up for a rainy day. Nobody plans on getting sick. Nobody plans on a car breaking down. Nobody plans on that. Some people do. Not even trying to be like some people actually do. The people that's trying does not. They trying to make it. I'm trying to make it. How is it so unexpected if it's not happened so many times? If you're actually learning from the spaces in the places that you have navigated through in life, how is it still unexpected? You don't know nobody who done got sick out the blue. You don't know nobody who even I've like I said, I done did some things throughout my life. Pissing people off, making people feel uncomfortable. Done been one of them high on the list for sure. And learning from people, putting myself in their position. It doesn't even take you walking up. It's not me telling them I'm putting myself in a position like you as if I had cancer. Not even nothing like that. It's just learning. It's just learning. My sibling was going on now 6 years of battling cancer. Financial financial financially is one of the hardest things I ever had to watch because it sucks. Because I know if my spouse was a child, is way more resources available. My spouse, sorry, sibling was a child, is way more resources available than them being an adult. And just saying that to say, like, even as a child, once I realized people say, you go to the military, you go be chef for life. You go to the military and you do what you're supposed to do, they'll take care of you for the rest of your life. Even as a child, not fully, totally grasping what that meant, I signed up for ROTC, did ROTC. I said, oh, this is what the Army could be like. Or this is what the Army's going to be like. I can handle this. Joke's on me, right? Um, but you learn, you navigate. Like I said, we more wolf than sheep. So wherever situation I get put in it, I usually do okay. But just to saying that to say, even something small as the choices that I made as a 13, 14-year-old to take this PE elective instead of PE and being able to experience that situation and being able to make it up in my head and say, I'm going to do this. If I was to get sick or if the military has all this crazy shit they done exposed us to happen to give me that same thing, I know I won't be that financially affected by it. And I'm not speaking in necessarily ignorance either. I want to say it like that. Throughout my time in the service, I have seen many people get cancer. My second duty station, one of my close friends at the time, spouse at the time, because they're no longer together, whatever, had brain cancer, and just watching what the military did. Like I said, do not get me wrong. I know people who had cancer, and the military still sucks towards those people. And although that their treatment is being paid for, their career is being affected by it because you're looked at as, yeah, you sick, you got cancer, but I look at you as you just trying to get over on the system. You, yeah, you sick, but you still need to show up. You still need to do this. You still a soldier. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole either. I feel like I did a little bit. Let's come back. Let's revert back. But just saying all that to say, we were able to pay for the visit and we did it. It wasn't no strain necessarily on, man, we got to pay for this visit. Then we got the 5,000 to, come up for this. It's just coming at the right time and we came together and we just did it. Like I said, it's just so many things. I look back in my life and I look around in my life and it's just like you do it and doing has became your normal. It just get done. My spouse tell me all the time, you doing too much, sit down. Man, it gets dark around like 6 o'clock now, right? So at 5:30, I'm finishing up my homework. Be taking me forever to write papers. It is what it is. Finishing up my homework, finishing up my discussion boards, and I'm like, you think I better cut the grass before it get too dark? Mind you, like I said, it's like 5:30, 5:40. My spouse is like, we ain't doing that tonight. I said, yes, we are. About time, about around the time. I got stuck on that. Around the time or about the time 6:20 rolls around, I'm sitting on the couch. Already done. Already done. Full, backyard, fully cut. I do the front tomorrow. I'm gonna go cut that in the dark. But just saying that to say, even with someone that's a, doer, talker versus I'm doing it. Just do it. You learn to do it, it's done. It's something that doesn't need to be talked about tomorrow. Do it, not talking. And no Nike endorsement. Like, just do it. Check. I'm saying truly get it done. If you don't like just do it because of Nike, whatever. I ain't saying I don't like Nike. We'll take sponsor is a sponsor. I ain't talking about your Nike. Just saying no um free promotion, I guess. But believe in what you say. Believe in what you say. Make it a belief, make it a principle. And this is all in the segment of doing versus talking. Make it a belief, make it a principle, and do what you say. People say you do too much, you gotta calm down. No, I'm doing exactly what I said that I was gonna do, and you just aren't. All right, segment 5, let's get into it. I think, yeah, well, Then we got one more segment after this. Growth makes people uncomfortable. We ain't even gotta go long on that. We know that. I kinda covered it throughout the whole episode. People go like you a whole lot more when you trying than when you doing. When you doing, it's a whole lot different. When you doing, you're literally doing it. You aren't picking up for me. You ain't talking to me. What do you want? What do you have to bring to what I have going on that makes this conversation worth it? Not even sometimes people, like I said, it's not monetary. It's not a turn up. Sometimes it's just a joy and a blessing and they feel good to be around people. Drink. Um, but yes, a whole lot of people will go, growth make people uncomfortable. And a whole lot of people is gonna prefer you to be trying because they're trying on the long side you. They're stuck in the same room that you are. They trying, navigating through life, navigating through the mega mansion instead of doing it. It make people feel comfortable. Cause like I said, instead of us being validated about the things that we get done, we validate ourselves by the people that surround us, or what people that surround us, or what we have looked up to or been groomed to look up to say they have going on, and this is the level, and this is the level of success that I want to reach, and this is what I want to do. And 9 times out of 10, that was something that was implanted in you. It wasn't homegrown. You did not have that idea. And I know people feel like it's not an original thought in the world, but it is. Even if the thought has been placed in the world before, some people can be completely removed from each other, no way of accessing what that person said, and think and have the same thought, but produce it a whole different way. It's just life. You know how many times that you actually like you can try something, you be like, this ain't working. And even with that, like I say, people growth make people uncomfortable. That's a segment that we on. Even with that, people be so uncomfortable by the fact that you're actually doing it and they're trying something and it's not working, but you are actually making some type of progress doing what you do, or you are saying like, I didn't want to do that. Like, man, you made it, you nice, but you ain't got a chain. I didn't want to change. That's why it's not there. Like you saying you made it, but you doing the same thing this person doing, but you only getting 100 listens a episode. Uh, but I'm doing it. My thing was to reach who I can reach. It's not 100 people that I can call, but it's 100 people that's downloaded and say you as a messenger that I want to get the message. And it sucks that people like you a whole lot better when you try than what you're doing, but you know why it's like that? Correct. Because people try a whole lot more than they do. So it makes them feel so uncomfortable. Like, oh man, you trying to get out? No, I'm out. You trying to start a business? It started. You trying to get back to the community? I'm doing it. You still trying your podcast? I'm doing it. Even like I say, having the understanding of saying that, yes, I could do anything that I want to do, but I can't do everything. And some things can't overlap. Some things need more attention than others at a specific time, but everything can still exist in my life. When you leave from a section of your life, you don't have to blow up the other room in the mansion. If you keep blowing up rooms that you traveling from, you can't go back. And I'm not saying just, of course, literally, even figuratively, like going back in the past. You could live in the past in your head, but you cannot go travel back into time. That moment is frozen in your mind because of whatever, but it's not there. You're not physically there, even though you feel physically there because you done had yourself trapped in that moment. You have to be able to navigate and travel and understand that I need to if the growth that you have going on is making the people around you uncomfortable, you're around the wrong people. You're around people that's trying instead of doing. And you're like, man, maybe I need to cut my legs to fit in over here. No, you need to stand up and walk out. If somebody walk in and say, all right, the next room, the next section of your life, the next area of the next time period is open, You can go at any time, and they're like, "Ah, man, we'll go in a minute. I know it's there. I don't know what I'm gonna be at yet though. I'm trying. I don't know what I'm gonna be at. Yeah, I'm 35. I'm 36. I don't know what I'm gonna be at in life yet." And you sitting there like, "Man, I'm 30. I'm 25. I'm 20. How do I know what I'm gonna be at if they don't know? Cause you know you're doing something. Like I said, we ain't gotta stay on it the same. You ain't gotta stay on there. Was if somebody tell you this year, like, man, you don't act like the person that you was last year. Yeah, I'm doing the work. I'm better. I'm not the same person that I was last year. Not only did the year change, the way I look at stuff get changed. And we're gonna end it off like this. Segment 6, we have came to an end. The uploading system is making me nervous. It's steady saying like it's connecting, and I ain't feeling that. So hopefully I'm still here with y'all. But let them be mad. Let them be mad. If the person that you around doesn't like the fact that you doing, let them be mad. If somebody's upset because you're being a different person and you did what you said that you was gonna do, let them be mad. Because wasting years trying like everybody else is such a dangerous way to live. It's such a dangerous way to live. I'm telling you. I promise you, if they was growing and they was doing what they need to do, they would not hesitate to leave you where your trying tail was at. So thank y'all for spending this episode with me. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Trying is comfortable and doing is just as comfortable. You just gotta do it. So instead of say, yeah, I'm trying, we're gonna say, try doing. Somebody be like, you still trying that? I'm doing it. And like I said, I'm leaving y'all off. I know you have been trying. Give doing a shot. I know you have been overthinking. Give understanding a chance. Do not be scared. I know you've been trying. Give doing a chance. As always, until next time, be genuine to yourself and kind to others. I hope y'all get this episode. Been drinking my little apple juice. I'm excited to be here with y'all. I talked about our time. I'm growing with y'all. I'm 30 now. I'm crying. I look back and see how many things I done did in my life, and I'm like, man, I'm 30 now. It's a blessing. I'm excited. I'm doing everything that I said I was. I did the military. I said I wasn't bringing the military into my 30s, and I was not. I already said it, but I'm gonna hit it off again because I talked again. Thank y'all for checking out this episode. It's all love 2026. Stay tuned. We got some great things in store. If you're listening to this audio, the message, the message, I hope the message was clear. The audio will be out on Monday. And if you like watching the visuals, the video will be out on Wednesday. Like I said, until next time, be genuine to yourself and kind to others.